What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So this is my first official like winter holiday season look, and I want to do Rudolph. I got this like prosthetic off of this shop on Etsy, and I literally got it so I could do a Rudolph look. So yeah, but I've been trying to do more special effects makeup looks, and I feel like I'm getting better. I'm still trying to figure out like how to make everything a little bit more seamless, but we're making some progress. And I decided to go ahead and paint like the horns while they were still attached to this thing, but this is what they got like shipped in, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like trying to like paint a prosthetic while it's on your face, it's kind of hard, especially like with stuff like this, because like I would struggle, like when I did this in the past, like, I would struggle to get certain areas, and like I don't want it to look crazy in pictures, so I was like, might as well just do it like while it's on here. And then I'm just putting some Pros Aid in the spot where I feel like that's where the horn is gonna go, so that's what I'm doing right here. And then I decided to just go ahead and like put some not prosthetic glue, oh my gosh, adhesive on the prosthetic. But I feel like when it comes to certain prosthetics and like certain adhesive, like I feel like the adhesive dries on my face, but it doesn't necessarily dry on the actual prosthetic in itself. So like I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna like try and like find some different like prosthetics like glues. But I have like this spirit gun, but like I can't even open it. Like I have been trying to use it, I can't even open it up. Like that's how like tight it's like sealed. So maybe I'll get something else. Maybe I'll attempt to try and open it up again. But yeah, I should have like basically like ripped that part up. You see how I just dropped? Yeah, what I was gonna say is I should have like ripped off like the extra like skin part like before I did this. Like I'm learning, just bear with me. And I put some more glue on just because I need to make sure these hoes stick to my face, and one of them definitely was not sticking to my face in some of the pictures, but it's okay, we're just gonna ignore it. We got some good pictures and some footage out of it. It's a process, it is a process. And then like when I was like getting dressed and stuff, I like smacked one of my horns, so yeah, I was about to cry. But like I'm using this alcohol like around it just to kind of like blend those like edges. And the thing is, I probably should be using a Q-tip or something, because like I feel like the excess like alcohol like dripping down from the brush like made it like fall off, because you see me like putting some more glue on, because yeah. And this is the one that was like giving me like troubles. You see how like the glue is still like wet in the center? Like that's why I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I need to get a new glue, because I feel like that's another reason why they're not sticking how they're supposed to. But I mean, when I did the gills for Halloween, I wore those all day. Like I probably had them on for at least like 12 hours, and they didn't move or anything. But I also just feels like it depends on like what type of prosthetic. Like this is like an appendage just like literally sticking out of like my face, so I feel like that also like plays a fact, because even with my unicorn horn, like I had like some issues with it. But we're just gonna make it work, you feel me? And of course I had to do a blonde brow. Like I don't know, I love blonde brows, like I really do. And I was like, okay, for the rest of it I'll just do like a dark brown. And I feel like this brown actually eats on me. Like I hate black brows. Like I would do it for like certain looks, like when I'm trying to like do a certain vibe, but yeah, I'm not a black brow girly. Like I haven't done black brows just like for everyday makeup probably since I was in like high school. I used to use a black eyebrow pencil. Yeah, oh no, never again, never again, never again. But yeah, I'm just like cleaning up my brows, and then I'm adding this eyeshadow base on there, and I'm just gonna blend it out. And sometimes I'll use eyeshadow bases, some days I won't. It really just depends on my mood. But this is the Beats base from Beats by Deb Cosmetics, and this is in the shade 3. I have 1 which is white, 3 which is like this color, and this is like the normal color I usually get for like eyeshadow bases, and then 5 is black. So I've been like trying to like put them to use, because she has her shadow showdown like contest going on. So this is, I think, my third, yeah, this is my third look, this whole Rudolph look. And yeah, I just wanted to do something Christmassy, because I hadn't done anything Christmas. So I was like, we're just gonna do Rudolph, and I feel like it came out really well. And I knew that like I wanted to do like something like glam, like, and then I was like looking up like like Rudolph or like their makeup, and I was just thinking about the fact that like people usually like put like white around their eyes. So that's why I was like, okay, like I was gonna use like this like shadow that y'all see later on, but I wanted to do a cut crease. And I like try to switch it up sometimes when I do my eyeshadow like makeup, because I feel like I'm always doing a regular cut crease. So some looks I'm like, okay, let me add something else just to make it stand out a little bit more. So I want to do like a double cut crease where there's like a little color like in that little gap that I'm like leaving in between the black. Like there's gonna be basically like liner right there, and then I'm gonna cut my crease underneath the bottom one. But yeah, I'm just using like this, I think this is a detail brush or like a mini shader brush from Motor Brush, and I was using it to basically just draw the lines, and then we're just gonna blend it out And I'm using the In the Buff palette from Beats by Deb Cosmetics. This is one of the palettes that you could use for like the contests and stuff. So there's a nude palette and a colorful palette. I've used that colorful palette up so much, like I've already hit pan on some of them shades, but I feel like this is a pretty decent like nude palette. I wish there were some like darker browns, just because like, you know, I like to layer my browns, but I'm making her work, and I feel like it did a pretty good job. And like the black is pretty pigmented, like look at it, because I hate when you have to like build up like too many layers. But I'm trying to like just create some dimension a little bit, and just going back and forth with different brushes. That's like the whole makeup process. I know I cut out a lot of footage, but yeah, I go back and forth with my brushes and my shadows like a couple times before like I feel like it's where I want it to be. And then I was just using like that lightish like brown shade just to create a little bit more dimension. And I like to use like 3 shades, and that's usually what I normally do for like my makeup looks. And then this is like a full glamish look, but I decided to take my color fix from the Smartest Beauty, and I did the top one first. So I'm basically just following the space that I left and trying to make it a little bit more precise. I'll be having to go back and forth sometimes, so don't think everything doesn't always take like one pass. Like sometimes like I'll mess up, or I need to fix a line or something because it doesn't look how I want it to look, so I'll go back in. But sometimes like I'll just not edit it. I mean, I'll just edit it out just because I'm like, bro, too much footage. I'll be trying to cut down the footage so much. And I'm just taking that same white and I'm basically just adding it to the front, because at first I was thinking I was gonna do like a solid like white matte look, and I decided to like change it up. But I am taking that white matte from that palette and I'm just adding it on just to like kind of like set it, even though I don't necessarily need to set it. But I was also trying to make that white pop out a little bit more. And I'm taking this Twilight Shadow Shock highlighter from ColourPop. This is Vampire Skin. This is like the only like white color I have, so I was like, let me just use this to make it pop a little bit more. And then I'm going back in with that like black shade just to define the area in between so it pops a little bit more. So like when you do certain looks, like sometimes like you'll have to go back and forth and just time things up, and sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do for the look. But I wanted to like make it a little bit more like, you know, dramatic, so I decided to add like this white like loose highlighter from Beats by Deb Cosmetics. I use this all the time like for so many different things, but I was like, I want some sparkles, and I really don't have like a thin white glitter, so this is like the closest thing I had to it. So that's what you see me just adding the white little sparkles everywhere, and I feel like it ate. Like I haven't done like a double cut crease like this in a good little second, and now I'm gonna do more. But it just depends, like, because sometimes I don't be having the time, like, and then like we're about to go back to school. I want to cry. Like, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back to work. But we got a couple more weeks, and then, you know, we can call it quits for a little bit. But bro, I can't believe the end of the year is almost here. Like like December is tomorrow. This shit is crazy as fuck. Like, where has this year gone? Like, for real. But anyways, I knew I wanted to do a face paint, so like I wasn't gonna do my normal foundation shade, so I decided to just like use that Beats base just to, you know, see what I can do with this product. I love trying to like test out products and see like if I can use them for different things, and I just applied it everywhere all over my face because I was like, I feel like this could be a good like reindeer color, like. So yeah, that's why I'm just blending it out. And you know, sometimes I feel like you just have to like make like, oh my gosh, I was gonna say make mistakes, but like sometimes you literally just have to like test shit out, and it'll work or like it won't work. But I don't know, I just love to like try different things when it comes to makeup, because I feel like that's the only way you can really like just be creative and like come up with some shit if you like push the boundaries of everything. But I'm trying to make sure that it's blended everywhere, because yeah, I don't need to look crazy. And I was trying to be careful around the horns, and one, to make sure they don't fall off, and two, like I had too big of a brush. I probably should have used a smaller brush to like blend it on the actual like horn and stuff. That way it can look a little bit more seamless. And yeah, like the thing about me applying prosthetics, I feel like they're never always even. Like I be trying so hard. But anyways, I'm taking this white and I'm basically just like lighting up or just highlighting my face. I feel like the white was just gonna pop a little bit better because I didn't think I had like a concealer shade that was gonna be light enough for that. So I was like, white, we could just work with it, which I feel like in the final look, like I feel like that did like help a lot more. And of course I had to use a smaller brush because when I do like my concealer, like, you know, sometimes I'll use a bigger brush, but I feel like it's just so much easier to be more precise when you have like a brush like this size or like a little bit smaller. And most of my brushes are from Moda Brush. I do have some from Made by Mitchell, Beats by Deb Cosmetics. I have like 2 of her like face bundle sets or like the whole like collection. I have a couple different things from Real Techniques, but majority of my collection is Moda Brush. and I definitely recommend them. I feel like they're pretty like reasonably priced, and like they're good quality. And I have like multiples of certain brushes because yeah. But anyways, I never use this product from Morphe. It's the Hot Shot. It's because like this shade, like it's supposed to be like a bronzer, but for me it's not dark enough. Like it's more given like I could use it for a highlight shade, and I just don't really grab it ever. But I was like, you know what, so let's just try and use it, since like, you know, I'm doing this look that's like not like my normal skin tone, so might as well just use something that has been collecting dust. And then I just applied it to my nose, and then just added the highlighter back on, or like that lighter white, just to make it pop a little bit. And then now we're finally setting it. But I always set my face with a hydrating setting spray, or I try to, before I even like actually like set my face with powder. And I just do that like between each layer, just to make things like blend in a little bit more. That way it's not caked up, especially with my face paint looks, because I'm using products that aren't necessarily for like, you know, full coverage or for like your entire face. So I'm trying to make sure my face does not dry out and look crazy, because no. And then I just decided to take the Marigold Ultimate Setting Powder from one size, and I was like, I'll just use this to set my entire face. And I feel like this was actually a good shade. I have some shades that are similar to this, but I felt like this one was just going to add like that yellow warmth to it. Like I didn't want it to be like too light, because I feel like sometimes with those like translucent powders, like they're a little chalky. And yeah, it just depends on the brand. But I'm using this REM Beauty. This is actually like a highlighter topper. I just use it as bronzer. That was like the whole reason I got it. But I don't always love how it looks as a bronzer, because I feel like sometimes it just adds like too much shimmer. I would have to like use it in like strategic ways. But yeah, I'm going back in on the horn, because I knew like when I was like applying different things and like putting like trying to keep it to stay on, like I had accidentally took off some of the makeup, so I knew I was going to touch it up, but I just wanted to wait closer to the end because it just made more sense. And then I'm setting it with my liquid balm, or my liquid blurring balm from this Mars Beauty, and I feel like this is actually a pretty good product. I've been using it so much lately, and I've actually used it in between layers because I had ran out of a hydrating setting spray. So like this was like one of like the 3 setting sprays I had, but most of them are like setting sprays, so where like, you know, you set your face at the end, or like they're matte. And like I don't necessarily like using matte like setting sprays throughout the process, just because I don't want it to dry out my face too much, because I do like I have like I feel like oily to normal skin, but since it's getting colder, like my skin is gonna be a little bit drier, so I'm not trying to dry out my face, you feel me? And then I just added that black underneath my eyeline just to smoke it out, because I just love a like sultry under eye with like black, and just blend it out with the same colors I used above my eye. I feel like the amount of makeup brushes I be using sometimes, like, it's crazy, because I've been having to wash my makeup brushes like every single week, and I don't be feeling like doing it, but I be having to, because like it be looks, especially when I be doing my split face looks, I be having to like wash 2 sets of brushes basically, because I'm doing 2 different like color schemes. Oh Lord. But anyways, of course I'm doing a red like blush moment, because I don't know, I feel like when it comes to like Christmas or like winter looks, like red blush just is gonna always eat. And of course, I mean, it's Rudolph, he got a bright red ass nose, so we might as well just add some blush. But I'm using one of the blushes from the Next Mars Beauty. It's the Vision Flush. Like this collection, I feel like that product got launched like years ago. Like I don't think anybody really talked about it. But the only red blush, like powder blush I have, is the NARS powder blush in Exhibit A. If you have any recommendations for red blushes, let me know. Also, like, I don't know, I want to get some more powder blushes, but I've been feeling like, not, I wouldn't even say muted, like mauve color, but like a mauve like blush, like that's been eating so much, because like, I mean, I love a good pink bright blush, like I absolutely do, and I love orange blush, and I love like my deep berries. But like when the moments when I want to put some blush on, but I don't want it to like look like I got blush, like I don't want it to be too much, like that's the color I usually go for. So you know, I don't need to buy any makeup, but I want to buy some makeup, but I don't need to buy no makeup, like. And I feel like that's the like thought process I've been in. Like I didn't even get anything for Black Friday, which I mean, first off, I be confused, because I'm like, why am I looking at prices for some of these products, and I'm like, y'all is out your damn mind. Like, and even if you want to buy something, the discount that they giving, bro, this is some bullshit. Like, what am I gonna do with it? I saw some places saying 15%. What kind of like, what is this? Like, y'all just want to do a regular shopping day at this point. Like, this is not no spectacular ass sale. Like, But anyways, back to the look. Since I was doing, this reindeer look, I wanted to have the white in my eyeline. And I tried to use like this white like shadow stick, but yeah, it was not give what it had to give. So I was like, okay, we're gonna just have to go over it with like this white color fix. And then I'm adding this red glitter to my nose. This did take me a little second, I'm not gonna lie to you, because I probably should use a bigger brush. But I was trying to be precise because I didn't want to have like glitter everywhere. But yeah, I feel like the red nose just ate with like the glitter. I just wanted to add something extra to it. And then I'm adding like this gold like pigment to my brows because extra sparkles. I don't know, I'm a sparkly ass bitch. Like I love adding like sparkly like rhinestones, like glitter. I love adding all that stuff. And I was going back and forth in my head about if I want to do these spots on my head, but I was like looking back at like pictures I had looked up, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna do the white spots. Like I guess, because I was like, everybody is doing them when it comes to like Rudolph, even though like in the picture he ain't got no damn spots on his body. I was like, where are y'all getting these spots from? But I guess because I feel like when most people do deer makeup, they always do like the white spots. And yeah, I was like, okay, might as well, because I felt like the look needed something. Like I'm someone like the look can have glitter, rhinestones, all this extra shit. Like I got a double cut crease, and I'm talking about some like it just didn't have enough. Like, and I was being dead serious when I said this shit. Like sometimes I had to keep adding more and more stuff until I feel like it's just as dramatic as it needs to be. And here I am adding that white like loose highlighter from Beats by Lib. I'm adding it to the spots to make it even sparklier. Yes, I really just need to get like a white glitter, and I keep forgetting whenever I go to Jelly Link's website. But yeah, I need a white glitter. I need a couple different ones because I'm trying to like change up the colors I use, because I feel like I'm always in some pink, blue, purple, or green eyeshadow like all the time. And I've been trying to like switch up the colors when I do stuff. So if y'all have any color schemes y'all want to see me play with, please let me know. If there's any looks y'all want to see me do, please let me know, because I'm gonna have a little second where I can do a little bit more when it comes to my makeup looks, because right now I feel like I'm gonna just chill on the looks for a little second. Even though I love doing my makeup, I just feel like for a while I just need a little break, and I just need to really focus on like actually like editing my content, because it's nice that I'm creating the content, but it's like when I get to the point of editing, it's like I don't want to edit anything, and like it's like I have so much to edit, and it's getting overwhelming to where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm so far behind, because I want to post these looks, and it's like I can't post these looks because like I like to post things in order, like unless it's for like a certain like season or like a certain day or something that's like specific. I usually don't post stuff for like at least a month or two. So yeah, like there's some makeup looks like from early October that I still need to get to, and like when I say early October, I'm talking about like early October. So I need to catch up on some stuff. It's so much. Like I'm trying to do like these like contests, like because Beauty Bakery did a contest and then they ain't say shit. So I'm like, okay, maybe they not do. I don't know, but I did a look for that. I literally did a whole look for that when I should have been asleep. But I guess it is what it is. But I was just scoping myself out. Sometimes you just have to look at yourself in the mirror and just be like, damn, this look kind of eat. And that was that moment I just had when I was looking at myself. But yeah, I'm using my Feline Vibe lashes from I Envy. I love these lashes. These are some of my favorite lashes, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I will always use these. Like when I go to a beauty supply store, this is the one I always gotta find. Like no matter where I'm at, like because like sometimes I switch and get different lashes just because I like to try different stuff. But these will always be in my kit. But anyways, I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all for watching this video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.